Welcome to the Nintendo Wiretap Weekend Edition, this time for August 29th, 2020. The Nintendo Wiretap comes out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but on Saturday we take all 3 episodes, combine it into one mega episode, so you can just watch all of the news all at once. So without further ado, let's take a look at the biggest Nintendo news stories from the past week. Alright guys, coming up at number 2 today, another rumor to get you guys excited for the week. A Nintendo Switch with an improved display is reportedly coming next year. Now, a Nintendo Switch model featuring an improved display and upgraded interactivity, whatever that means, is supposedly coming in Q1 of 2021, according to new reports. Now, the information comes from a Taipei-based newspaper called the Economic Daily News, which states that the new Switch model will enter production later this year. Now, the publication cites hardware manufacturers that work on the Nintendo Switch's flash storage, Joy-Cons, and more. Now, reports of a new Nintendo Switch model, aside from the Switch Lite, have been floating around now for what seem to be years. All the way back in January, news reports of an upgraded Switch model, dubbed the Switch Pro, was supposed to be coming out sometime in mid-2020. And guess what? That didn't happen. So, as always, take this with a tremendous tablespoon full of salt. But last thing to keep in mind, and like I said before, Nintendo has to compete with 2 absolute giants later this year, the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. With those 2 coming out, you would imagine Nintendo wants to at least refresh their hardware in some capacity, so it can remain sleek and stylish and brand new and shiny, and really just have the opportunity to compete against these new pieces of tech. So I'm not going to be shocked if we see something like this very soon. In fact, I think it's only a matter of time. But, as always, stay tuned to Nintendo Wire on Twitter, on our website, nintendowire.com, and here on YouTube for more details on this one. I'm sure we're going to get stuff on this hopefully pretty soon, maybe even as soon as this Friday. Stay tuned. Alright, coming in at number 1 today, we have a release date and a brand new trailer for Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. That's right, Melody of Memory is coming on November 13th. Pretty soon. Which, thank God, we need something else to kind of hold us over before the next year. There's not a lot more coming from Nintendo. But let's stay positive, shall we? Now, the big things we got to see were some of the new songs that are in the game. In fact, there's one really amazing song that I actually have linked in the description below if you want to check it out. It's kind of a jazz remix of Dearly Beloved, one of the most famous Kingdom Hearts songs ever, and for some reason I'm absolutely enamored by it. I think it's just absolutely fantastic. We got to look at versus battles, we got to look at boss battles. Songs like Let It Go from Frozen are involved in this too, which is, I guess, cool if you're into that kind of thing. And finally, it was also confirmed a local 8-player mode is also confirmed as an exclusive for the Nintendo Switch. So, if you're wanting to have a Kingdom Hearts party, well, this is definitely the platform for you. Now, one really quick, just last tidbit of information on this, and I'm really into the art of Kingdom Hearts. In fact, I think I might like the artwork more than the games themselves, and we finally get our first look at the cover art for Melody of Memories, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Now, this art is brand new, and it's hand-drawn by Tetsuya Nomura himself, and features Kairi sitting on Sora's throne, which was previously seen in special artwork made available to celebrate Kingdom Hearts 3 all the way back in 2018. Now, to most, this might just seem like simple key art and nothing more, yet the symbolism and lore implications of what's seen are equal part intriguing and heartbreaking to those who've played Kingdom Hearts 3 to completion. From what we know of Melody of Memory's plot, Kairi is delving into the realm of sleep to try to find clues to Sora's whereabouts. In the art, we see her asleep on Sora's now empty throne, surrounded by images of the heroes and heroines of Kingdom Hearts. Now, among these pictures are 3 shots of Sora that are significant in that they are all taken from the final moments of each numbered Kingdom Hearts game, and all 3 are from Kairi's viewpoint. The one thing from Kingdom Hearts 3 on the bottom right is the most interesting and emotional, as we can now see the look on Sora's face before he said goodbye to Kairi after the events of the game. Now, if you want to learn more about what we were able to kind of dissect from this trailer, you can check out the article that we have written up on this from our resident Kingdom Hearts fanatic, Marcus Ramirez. He is absolutely amazing with Kingdom Hearts stuff. In fact, he wrote most of what I just said, so keep that in mind. I have a link to that article down in the description below if you want to check that out. Alright guys, I'm curious your thoughts on Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. Are you excited for this game? Are you over the Kingdom Hearts thing at this point? Now personally, I am a massive fan of rhythm games. In fact, Theatrhythm for the Nintendo 3DS, which in my opinion, this is kind of the spiritual successor to Theatrhythm. It is one of my favorite handheld games of all time, and this looks to be just up that alley. So I'm really excited to see what this game is going to offer, and I cannot wait to bring you guys a review of this game as soon as we can get our little dirty hands on it, so stay tuned for that. Alright, coming in at number 2 today, we have Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 coming from Sega, releasing this December. Now, like I said before, Kingdom Hearts, yeah, I'm good with that. Puyo Puyo, I'm not, I guess, 100% in the know about a lot of the lore and a lot of the game mechanics. I kind of suck at puzzle games for the most part, so in order to give some clarity to this story, we are bringing on resident Puyo Puyo expert, Ricky Berg, editor at NintendoWire.com, to share with us his impressions of this announcement. Ricky, take it away.
Thanks, Jason. Happy to be here. So today, Sega announced that Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 is going to be coming out not only on Switch, but to a whole bunch of other systems. No matter what you got, you should be able to play this one. Now, I loved Puyo Puyo Tetris. It's one of my favorite games from the Switch launch window. It's one of my favorite Switch games, period. It's perfect. I love me and my puzzle games. I love cute games. You put all that stuff together, and what do you get? You get Puyo Puyo Tetris. Now, for the sequel, it looks like we're getting not only a new story mode and new characters, but we're also going to be getting something called Skill Battle Mode, which gives each of the playable characters their own kind of unique skills, and you're going to be able to equip items too. And it looks like by pre-ordering you're going to get items based on Sonic the Hedgehog, so I'm kind of hoping that we might see some other Sega crossovers make their way in. The last Puyo Puyo Tetris had Sonic Puyos, so maybe those will come back, maybe some characters will come in. They do a bunch of crossovers in Japan in a mobile game called Puyo Puyo Quest, so hey, you never know. Plus, Puyo Puyo Champions this week is getting an update for Spectator Mode. It's getting colorblind options, so it would be great to see that kind of accessibility and competitive consideration make its way into this as well. Now, if you're not so into puzzle games, I still recommend at least checking it out. I want to say there's a demo for the original Puyo Puyo Tetris that you can download on the eShop. Just give it a try. You never know. It's a great pick up and play game. It's a great party game. Story mode makes it a great single player experience, but really where it's at is playing online, playing with other people. So I know you're not so into them, but I'm going to be repping this game so hard. So I hope that everyone else who's listening and watching can get excited for Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, coming out December 8th.
Thank you very much, Ricky. And of course, if you want to see more of Ricky Berg, you can find him over at NintendoWire.com, where he's putting out all different kinds of articles on a day-to-day basis. Make sure to check him out there, and I'm sure we'll see him soon on the Nintendo Wiretap. So if you're anything like me, you are a fan of a good RPG. And let me tell you, Earthbound is one of the best RPGs of all time. One of the rarest Super Nintendo games because of its, I guess, relative complexity when it came out. Not a lot of US players were, I guess, really keen on picking up a bizarre Japanese RPG. But obviously things are very different now. The West absolutely loves Mother. I think it's embraced the series. People are still begging for Mother 3 to come to the US after all of these years, even though it's probably never going to happen. But hey, instead of looking at what we don't have, let's take a look at what we can have. A Japanese stationery company known by Hobonichi Tecco is essentially making some really amazing Mother or Earthbound related items very, very soon. These have seen the light of day once before, but they were very quickly sold out, and it looks like they are coming back for a second run. Now at the moment, not just at the moment, I mean, we are not going to see these in the US in any kind of department store, but if you're looking to import this kind of thing, you can definitely do that. And there's some really neat stuff to look at here. We have two mini planners, one showcasing some of the enemies from the Mother series, and a second one featuring one of the landscapes from the game. We have this absolutely gorgeous Mr. Saturn planner. I love this one. It's bright red. It has 5 Mr. Saturns on top of each other. I like this one, I think, the most. There's also a tiny planner that showcases the 4 Mother 2 heroes. Next up, we have a calendar that's showcasing, again, some of the more famous scenes from Earthbound. Now, it also appears that this calendar comes with a set of Mother stickers that you can use to mark, I guess, important dates on your calendar. I really like these stickers. I hope that they sell these separately. I can just imagine putting these pretty much anywhere. I don't think I've ever seen Mother stickers before, so this is something I'm definitely keeping my eye on. And finally, we have some Mother tote bags. We have 2 with the Mother logo, and then finally there's a third that essentially has different kind of angles showcasing Mr. Saturn. So if you're a fan of Mr. Saturn or the Mother series, these are definitely good ones to get. Now, if you want to pick these up, there is good news. They are coming to Amazon Japan, which, in most cases, ships this stuff internationally. And for the most part, the prices aren't absolutely insane. So if you do want to get these, pre-orders are set to go live on September 10th. I have a link in the description below that will essentially take you to Amazon Japan if you want to check it out, but like I said, you still have about 2 weeks before these go on sale. Stay tuned. But there you go, folks. Some pretty nice Earthbound merchandise coming to Japan. Unfortunately, this kind of stuff typically doesn't come out in the US, but hey, that's what international mail's for, right? But what do you guys think about this stuff? Let me know your thoughts on all of this merchandise down in those comments below. Alright, folks, I do want to close out just with my final thought on the 24th anniversary of Earthbound in Japan, or Mother 2. Earthbound has always been one of these kind of unobtainable games for my game collection. I ended up picking it up about 7 or 8 years ago, and I never played it when I initially got it. But then when I did, I really kind of discovered why people loved this game so much. It really means a lot to me, not just as a game collector, but as a video game fan. If you've never played it, I highly recommend it. It's on the new 3DS eShop and the Wii U eShop, at least for the time being. Unfortunately, not yet on the Nintendo Switch, but it is on the Super Nintendo Classic Edition, so that's definitely one way to play it as well. If you've never tried it, you definitely need to give this one a go. That's going to wrap up tonight's episode of the Nintendo Wiretap. I'll see you next time with yet another episode, but as always, until then, stay wired in. Bye, guys.